In very important news right now, the Health Minister Zweli Mkhize has actually said that the entire country will go to level 3 lockdown. Now we know in my previous article that the briefing that the ministerial committee was going to give to the public was postponed because of the confusion that has actually started over the past 48 hours since President Cyril Ramaphosa announced that the entire country will go to level 3 lockdown. And it looks like a slide is to blame. This is how they get out of the mess that they are finding themselves in, because obviously things are coming apart right now. And in this article, it says, communications confusion. Is government's lockdown policy and planning coming apart at the seams? This is a question that Peter de Tooy is asking. He says, over the past 48 hours, it seems as if government policy and planning strategy in easing the lockdown has started coming apart. On Sunday night, the President announced that the whole country will on 1st of June be removed from level 4 on the risk-adjusted lockdown strategy to level 3. With a differentiated approach to be followed in future. That was followed by announcements that the customary unpacking of regulations by the relevant ministers, including local governance minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, would happen on Tuesday in 2 separate briefings. Now we know that these briefings were cancelled because obviously there was a lot of consternation about why Minister Zweli Mkhize, in his presentation to NCOP, the National Council of Provinces, said that all the hotspots would remain at level 4 and could even go to hard lockdown. But then it all started to unravel. Clarity on level 3 lockdown restrictions. So the minister is giving clarity now, because clarity has been sought on the presentation made by the Minister of Health to the NCOP yesterday regarding the determination of alert levels for hotspots. An old slide was presented stating hotspots would remain at level 4. This is so funny. I mean, this sounds like a primary school child that was caught in the act and then blamed a simple thing like a slide or an eraser or pencil that didn't work for not doing their homework. That slide is now outdated and was inadvertently included in a presentation that had been updated. The slide was part of a presentation previously done by Health Minister prior to the NCCC resolving on the final approach to be adopted for the country, which was subsequently announced by His Excellency President MC Ramaphosa. The Excellency is very interesting under the circumstances. This note seeks to clarify the inquiries received. Firstly, as announced by President MC Ramaphosa on the 24th of May 2020, we confirmed that the whole country will be moved to alert level 3 on the 1st of June 2020. This is a huge relief. As I said before, if this did not happen, this country would be in an absolute riot if they didn't continue with this easing. And it is such great news that we will be moving to level 3, and let's hope that they don't change their mind on any of this, because there's so many people on edge right now. Further to that, government has taken measures to identify areas that have been defined as epidemiological hotspots. As clearly explained by the President in his speech, these are areas that have more than 5 infected people per 100,000 population, or areas where the infections are increasing at a fast pace. Now, 5 in 100,000 I don't see as a pandemic in any given area specifically. So I don't know what they base these stats on and what a fast pace means. Going from 1 to 5 within a week, is that a fast pace? I don't know what they mean by a fast pace and how they're going to apply these stringent measures. I think what they've done is they know they made a huge mistake. They saw the public outcry and they blamed the slide for it. And now what they're going to do in any case is in these districts apply measures without telling the rest of the country, just through their actions, and actually clamp down on the people in a way that we've never seen before in our lives. So keep yourself posted by subscribing to the channel, hitting the bell button, because I'll be watching all the news closely. I've got many channels sending me information continuously from across the country to monitor the alert levels. In some of these hotspots, cluster outbreaks have also been identified. This means positive cases arising from people participating in the same activity within a specific area. These include factories, grocery shops, farms, etc. Now, these are obvious statements. We know how a virus spreads. It's through contact. Those areas also require rapid response of screening, testing, and the tracing of contacts. Cluster outbreaks drive the pandemic because spread occurs within the cluster. Then individuals take the virus home with them, thus causing community outbreaks. It is for this reason that we emphasize the importance of submitting to appropriate isolation once a person is tested positive, or go into appropriate quarantine when a person has been identified as a direct contact of a positive patient. Now, I know that our government is actually planning, and they've already gazetted this, to just take people and put them in quarantine. Now, these are one of the measures that they could be implementing, that you get ripped away from your family and you get forced into a hospital bed somewhere in the middle of nowhere. What's going to happen if your kids test positive? Once, and if they go back to school, are they going to rip them away from the family and put them in a hospital bed? What is going to happen? These things are not being clarified at this stage, but they are preparing over 20,000 hospital beds for the 20,000 people that they believe will die in next month. Remember, they predicted 500 this month, which they're very close on, but in June they predicted 20,000 people would have died minimum. This therefore means that as the whole country moves to level 3, there will be constant assessment of each and every area and its rate of infection, in which case further containment measures and restrictions may be considered. So, just like with the move from level 5 to level 4, many things actually became stricter than in level 5. We got curfews, 2 curfews, one on exercise and one in the evenings. This has never happened in the history of our country, not even under apartheid, were the curfews that lasted in that way across the entire country. Now, when we move to level 3, I suggest that in the different districts, they will implement certain things, because they can do it per district now, that could make things worse under level 3 in that area than it was in level 4 or even 5. What do they mean by hard lockdown, quick increase in the rates, etc.? If the spread of the infection is not contained despite the above mentioned interventions, government will make a determination on whether to return that specific area, i.e. metropolitan, district, sub-district, ward, even at ward level people, to alert level 4 or 5. So now they're saying that the ward that you vote in, when you go and vote in the local or national elections, could be a level 4 or 5 on its own. How are they going to police this? This is absolutely impossible what they are suggesting. These people are not thinking. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. This will be done rapidly and in an effort to contain and manage the spread. Are they just going to deploy the entire military and encircle an entire area? What are they going to do? And also to ensure that our health facilities are not overwhelmed by the rapid rise of positive cases in that area. This therefore means that as the whole country moves to level 3, there will be a constant assessment of each and every area and its rate of infection. This raises the importance of social behavior. Members of the community can and must take it upon themselves to observe social distancing by keeping more than 1 meter distance from the next person, constantly wash and or sanitize hands, wearing a face mask, avoiding touching one's face with unwashed hands and clean surfaces we come into contact with. Well, in the first place, at the beginning of the pandemic, professionals said you shouldn't wear a mask because then you bring your hands close to your mouth and you actually increase the chance of spreading the virus. They actually need to make up their minds. We also want to emphasize that staying at home remains key, and for those employees who can work from home, we urge employers to promote and facilitate this new culture. For those employees who must still go to work, they must embrace a new way of life which will protect them. A new way of life, not momentarily. They are saying that this is the new normal. There is more happening here than just a pandemic, as declared by the World Health Organization. And they say this is to protect you. Okay? They're making a decision for how you should be protected. Their families and their fellow workers. People, we are in for an interesting ride, and I will keep you up to date. Remember to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell button so that you can get notifications. As I get in news, I will give you the context that you need with regards to the history and the future.